Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Nemisphere! For the first time in SFL history, we play inside one of the most feared venues in the Simulation Football League as the Portland Fleet come to town to take on their Cascadia rivals, the Seattle Nemesis. Good evening, everyone. I'm Jack Brown. Alongside me here tonight is Jacob Clear. Jacob, these two teams are probably some of the most excited coming into Week 1. Portland and Seattle both had some fun games over the preseason, and just their offseason, wow, these two had some fireworks.
Absolutely, Jack, and good evening, SFL Nation. I'm here with you for a third time at Convention Week 1. It's a hell of a lot of travel, but, it's all in the name of fun and in the name of the league, and you're absolutely right. These two teams are really sort of setting a precedent. I mean, Portland are probably one of the hungriest teams in the league. They've had 5 odd seasons in the league and haven't yet made the playoffs. Seattle were in the next expansion round and they haven't made the playoffs yet, but both are desperate for that first inaugural playoff berth. And both definitely have the capabilities to do it. New franchise quarterback in Seattle, so much to look forward to in this game.
Absolutely, and we are just moments away from kickoff, and we are underway from the Nemisphere. SFL on YouTube. Ball's going to be taken back around the 3-yard line, up past the 20, 25 to the 30, and that is where Cyrus Jive and company are going to take their first snaps of the game. Scott Johnson on the kick return.
You see, Scott Johnson had a really impressive performance as the returner for this Fleet side in the preseason. That's part of why they've switched him from running back to wide receiver. He's got some of that run after the catch ability, and we'll see what Cyrus Jive can bring up. Ezekiel Love is really the face of the offense, but some really good receiving options as well with Portland this season.
Absolutely, Jacob. 1st and 10 now. Ball is in the I formation for Portland. Nickel 3-3 look for Seattle. Cyrus Jive dropping back. Going to sling it to the outside. That is out of the hands of his receiver, Ryan Davis. Going to bring up 2nd down and 10.
Ryan Davis, 2nd season with the ball club. That time it was a good throw by Jive, put it into a tight spot, but too much coverage around the area by the Nemesis, and they forced an incompletion.
Portland Fleet offense showing up there at the bottom of your screen. Fairly experienced bunch, but they had to make some swap-ins for the offseason, especially on the receiver front. 2nd and 10 for the Fleet. Jive looking to throw, going over the middle. Short, that's going to be caught. Gain of 5 on the play by the halfback, Ezekiel Love.
Yeah, and you see Love there getting in on the passing game, but what really stood out there was the pocket that was created by the offensive line of the Fleet. That's going to be a really important part of this game, is whether this young Seattle defensive line can get pressure on Jive.
Yeah, and there you see that Seattle Nemesis defense floating on the screen there. Throw to the outside, that's going to be calling a 1st down by Ryan Davis. Portland moving the ball down the field effectively.
Makes no mistake, this time Ryan Davis, and that was a really calculated throw by Cyrus Jive to the outside, and Seattle didn't have that area covered and allows the 2nd season wideout to make the play and gets Portland on the move. They're approaching halfway.
Yeah. Coming out in the same formation they were in the previous couple plays. First handoff to Ezekiel Love of the night, and Ezekiel Love, oh goodness gracious, caught up at the line, but like a man who wore the number 20 jersey, number 21, able to sneak right through.
Yeah, and you saw there again the offensive line just creating that path. It wasn't exactly the best look for him as a tailback, but the defensive line was unable to get pressure on Ezekiel Love himself, and he was able to get through with patience and time. Good start for Love.
Heavy set look here for Portland. In off the outside once again to Ezekiel Love, and Ezekiel Love caught up on his line. They're going to give him the 1st down, but I would not be surprised, Jacob, if they throw the challenge flag.
He could be challenged, but that was a look that we saw a lot of in previous seasons. It's a really favoured formation in this league, so effective as you saw there in short situations.
Yeah, but it's also fairly limited in this game, as we'll get into later about some of the newer stuff about 4K23. 2nd and 7 after the 3-yard run by Ezekiel Love.
And Love's just going to get a heavy touch share. I don't think Jive is going to be looking to venture away from him much with the presence of this offensive line.
2nd down and 7. Handoff to Ezekiel Love to the outside. Ezekiel Love picks up some blocks, and he's going to get the 1st down. And Portland is already just outside the red zone.
Yeah, that was a really, really well drawn up play there, Jack. A little misdirection play by the tailback. They sent the blockers to the far side and sent the tailback up to the top of the formation, and he gets the 1st down.
1st and 10 once more. Ball is on the 32. And off the outside for Ezekiel Love, and Love nearly broke away with it. But he got wrapped up by, I think that was Aaron Gooden on the tackle.
You see that spin move, and Seattle are going to try and make some adjustments here defensively to try and get more bodies around the area. At the moment, they just can't quite get to Love at the first point of contact.
Yeah, that's something that's going to be very important over the season that we're going to see, is that you need to get a mismatch going on defense. That's going to be a 1st down from Ezekiel Love. You know, the 2 main ways on defense that you got to really look out for now in this new game, Jacob, you got to either get a mismatch in numbers or you got to get right head-on line of contact. 1st and 10 again. Ball is on the Seattle 22. Cyrus Jive's going to throw it over the middle. That's caught. 1st down. And Portland is in the red zone on their very first drive. Israel Adams bringing it in and crossing and making those chains move.
Yeah, Israel Adams is that dynamic player in this wideout core for Portland. His 3rd season with the ball club, and as such a standout player that's going to take a real jump this season with the absence of Benjamin Warner, him moving up into a starting role. Such a good player to have.
1st and goal for Portland. Jive moving around the pocket. Jive going to throw. That's going to be a gain of 2 on the catch by Ezekiel Love.
And again, just forming that safety valve, his 2nd catch of the drive. And Jive looking to sort of spread the ball around here in this heavy set.
Yeah. Sable Canal making the tackle there. As Jive looks to the end zone, caught! Touchdown! Portland knocks the 1st points up on the board here tonight, and Israel Adams with a great catch.
There you go, and what a drive by Portland to cross downfield. They burn a lot of the clock, but that's a fantastic throw in a formation that generally we don't see get thrown out of much, but Israel Adams sort of serving as the ex-receiver just splits the safeties. And a beautiful read by Cyrus Jive to place it on his chest in the end zone. Portland get a much-deserved score after their early good work in the drive.
Yeah, and he's able to beat out the corner, which was very important to that. And Portland about to go up 7-zip in the Nemisphere. Kick is up, and it is good. And Portland eating up time on a very nice drive, I got to say there, Jacob.
You know, they looked really assured in possession, and you saw there they took off 4 minutes off the clock. It was a really extended drive, but it also helped that Ezekiel Love had a lot of touches, but nothing too explosive, just nice and safe yardage across, and Seattle really didn't have much to counter.
Yeah, that's what you need in this league, just a nice steady rhythm, keeping it at the same pace that you're used to, as that's going to be taken up to the 31, and they're going to mark him down to the 30, actually. That's going to be John Fullerton on the return. And now out comes the rookie 1st overall pick, Ty Patak. Seattle invested a heck of a lot of their franchise in this man. A huge trade over the offseason to acquire the picks needed to get him. They're going to hand it off. No, actually, it's going to be a rollout by Ty Patak. First pass attempt to the pros is going to be incomplete.
Yeah, and they invested so heavily in him because he is so different compared to the rest of the quarterbacks in the league at the moment. He's relatively undersized by comparison, but you saw there the mobility that he possesses to escape the pressure, get out into the pocket. Didn't complete the pass, but a really nice little move there by Patak to get into space.
Second down and 10. Gonna be another rollout for Patak. Throws downfield. That's gonna be his first completion of his career. First and 10. Ball is up to the 47-yard line. John Fullerton with the reception.
It's a great pass, Jack, but I want you to look at the block there from the offensive lineman who just capped off that defender at the last moment. It looked like Patak was running straight into a sack, but it was able to get a block at the last moment and unleashed a dime to John Fullerton. Great play in the end, but credit to the lineman there for the block.
Now the ball is pretty much at the midfield stripe for Seattle. Offset eye look. They're going to do another rollout play action. Throw it down the field. That's a third time they've run essentially the same play, Jacob. And, I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Well, that was puzzling from Portland's defense because there was a defender right there in the area to take out Patak, and he seemed to run straight by him. This time, Fullerton gets open again with not really much of a defender around him. Portland really need to sort of lock that up in terms of their secondary, but also make sure that they're executing when Patak is in the pocket and he's vulnerable.
Looks like it could be another one of those same plays from Seattle. Ball is on the 33. And no, they're actually going to hand it off this time. Gain of 2 from Baloo Scott. You know, usually when you see that many play actions in a row, you kind of expect them just to do a conventional throw at this point.
Potentially luring him into a false sense of security there, but good stop by the Fleet secondary there.
Second down and 8. Handoff once again to Baloo Scott. Baloo Scott's going to rumble through. Oh, she's in the open. And she's going to get to the 15-yard line. First down, Seattle.
Yeah, I think it was Chris Starch, the cornerback, to the rescue in the end there because she was almost gone, as you mentioned. And it just a fantastic run up the middle. She's one of the top-end running backs in this league. And, obviously Ezekiel Love's going to get a lot of attention when Portland have got the ball. But Baloo Scott, a real talent in her own right.
First and 10 once again for Seattle. Patak looking around, throws to the end zone, tipped incomplete. Pass intended for T to Queen.
Well, it should have been. That's one he'll want back. I mean, he's celebrating the tip, but really that was kind of placed on his chest. It was almost as if Patak was throwing it to him. Instead, Seattle get away with a bit of a lucky charm there.
Absolutely. Second and 10. Going to be the rollout play action once again. That's going to be good for its 6th touchdown. Seattle, John Fullerton. You know, for being among the lower listed receivers on this depth chart, he may as well be the wide receiver 1.
Well, he's the lowest on their depth chart, but early on, I mean, Patak's really starting to feel comfortable throwing to him, and this play has been called probably 4 times this drive where he's just ran a post route down the middle. That time again, the Fleet secondary just didn't pick it up, but it seems as if when Patak rolls out into the pocket, the Fleet front line don't really know how to defend it, and he's left with a lot of time, Patak, to make a play. And so Portland really need to respond by locking that up defensively, but a beautiful throw by Ty Patak.
And that's going to tie it up at 7 apiece. Seattle and Portland, both with huge opening drives and statement touchdowns. And after nearly 6.5 minutes, it's all a wash.
Well, 2 very different drives as well. I mean, you see the time difference. I mean, Portland looking to sustain yardage and burn clock, and Seattle looking for the big play on on most occasions.
Portland, that's going to be taken up by Scott Johnson to the 28-yard line. Nice little movement there. And you know, Scott Johnson, I remember when he was brought in, the free agent signing came across the wire. It was a bit of a questionable one. A lot of people were scratching their heads. But in preseason and so far tonight, he's shown at least some potential as to why they signed him at that position. First and 10, balls on their own 28-yard line. Throw over the middle, that's going to be a catch. Surprised that Israel Adams actually managed to get a hand on that one.
Yeah, both of the standout wide receivers on either side making big plays. And to your point about Scott Johnson, I mean, with this game where we've got a lot more flexibility with substitution packages, he could still be used as a receiver, but as a running back, it opens up a lot of flexibility for Portland's offense.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of wild and different things you can do on offense here in 4K23. And we're just seeing the start of it. Handoff once again to Ezekiel Love, and they're going to say he got that first down. Just barely, though.
You saw there the tight end in that formation. The backfield moved in motion to the left, so they opened it up on either side like a offset formation. Created the first down.
Handoff once more to Ezekiel Love, and Ezekiel Love going to rumble on down the field for a gain of 8.
Yeah, he looks good, and like we said, he's the identity of this offense for Portland for so long. He's been such a good player for them, and just, again, the offensive line for Portland is just creating gaps for him to escape into, and it's been a really impressive start by the lead blockers for Portland.
Once again, it's the heavy set look for the Fleet. Going to be right up the middle for Ezekiel Love this time. Going to easily get the first down and across the midfield stripe. As TJ
Such a
Harper
curious start to the game. Such a curious start to the game with both these offenses. They're completely different, with Portland opting for a more power run style and Seattle, with the more unconventional deep throw look.
Yeah. Cyrus Jive going to throw this one over the middle. Oh, it's picked off! 50-50 ball went Seattle's way, and now they got it back. First statement on defense, and it's made by the Nemesis and TJ Frosty.
TJ Frosty, first season with the club, transferred over in free agency from Denver, and what an introduction by this Seattle secondary, picking off Cyrus Jive just when they were starting to look like they were going to run down the field again with Ezekiel Love. Jive tries to catch them out with a deep look, and it gets picked off, and Seattle turn it, get back position.
First and 10, balls on their own 28 for Seattle. Play action rollout for Type Attack. Throws it down the field, this time to Fox Highwind. And Jacob, something I want to note about that play in particular. You saw there was a defender wide open running at Patak, but he kind of seemed to get distracted. I'm surprised that happened.
That's happened virtually every time, and there's either been a lineman there to make a block or there wasn't, and on that occasion there wasn't, and there seemed to be a defender, like you said, that was in that vicinity, but he finds the former SFL London wide receiver, now number 1 on the depth chart in Fox Highwind.
Tack looking around, going to throw this one deep, tipped incomplete. Second and 10 after the deflection from Portland and from Mel Davis.
That nearly got taken away. The star free safety Bernard Smith crossing into the area could have potentially had a play of the ball if he had a bit more of a look at it.
Second and 10, offset eye look for the Nemesis. Looks to be a 3-4 defense in response by the Fleet. It's going to be a straight drop back this time, not something that we're used to seeing out of that formation.
Ooh.
And it was just an off-target throw. Patak having some conversations about that one.
If Attack overthrew that, and that nearly resulted in a pick. There were two Portland defenders behind the ball that were right there in that vicinity. I think they're countering with the 3-4 to try and get a linebacker in that space when he tries to roll out the pocket, because that's the formation he's been doing it in.
3rd and 10. Gonna be a rollout from Patak. Throw to the outside. That's caught. First down inside the 40. And that's a huge pickup of yardage by Gus Scott.
Finds another unique receiver. This time again, it's another little post corner route that kills Portland's secondary there. But again, type Attack's mobility, a real standout. Just his ability to get into the pocket and give himself time to wait for that route to develop. It was really smart by the young quarterback, and a good first down by Gus Scott.
Attack looking to throw, goes over the middle this time. That's going to be another first down. And they are moving the ball with conviction. Tia Queen with her first reception of the ball game.
Yeah, they're playing with a lot of confidence, aren't they? And again, Patak really starting to spread the ball out. They've got 5 receivers on their depth chart, the majority of which came in free agency. So it's a pretty fresh slate when it comes to the personnel on Seattle's offense. But Patak looks really assured with all these new faces.
Yeah, again, for such a young team and such a new team, they look like they've been here before. Attack goes to the outside. That's going to be a catch for a 1st and goal. That one made by Fox Highwind.
Yeah, he did well. He cupped a bit of contact there from the outside corner, and Derek Majors but was able to hold on to the ball and keep it going. Again, Patak just showing off the read coverage skills there, and we'll hit the quarter mark.
1 quarter down here in the Nemisphere, and Seattle looking to take the lead. You're watching the SFL on YouTube live from the SFL convention. Or I guess in our case, technically not live, but alas. 1st and goal for Seattle. Once again, thank you for tuning in, everybody. I'm Jack Brown alongside Jacob Clear. Portland and Seattle is the matchup you're watching. Patak throws over the middle. That's going to be incomplete. 2nd and goal. Pass intended for the tight end, Paulie Truth.
Yeah, that's the first time that their star tight end was targeted, and I think it falconed off one of the receivers running across the field there, and Patak just gets it slightly wrong, but little risk involved in that play. Portland just slowly starting to bend here defensively.
2nd and goal for Seattle, man in motion. It's going to be something you're seeing a lot here in 4K23, a lot of man in motion. And that's going to be another play action rollout. He's going to find a man in the end zone. Oh, but he overthrows it. Put a little bit too much juice on that ball. And it's 3rd and goal for Seattle.
Yeah, it's incomplete, and it probably should have been caught. But once again, there was a defender in the area. That time there was a bit of a block, but the defender was in front of it and could have potentially gotten to Patak. But good blocking by the Seattle front line to keep the quarterback upright. And we'll see what they draw up here. 3rd and long.
Trips to the top of the screen. Single back look for Seattle. Gonna be another rollout from Patak. Nearly hit. That's gonna be an incompletion. Seattle gonna have to settle for 3 as Portland gets a huge stand on the line. Derek Majors with the deflection.
Yeah, another good play by Derek Majors. He's one of the shorter cornerbacks in this league, but again, a lot of jump there. You can see the vertical leap in the end zone there just to bat that one away. And you can tell Portland is starting to understand what needs to happen when Seattle draw out these rollout plays. That time there was a lot more pressure around Patak to make the throw.
Kick is up from Christian Ronald-Sui, and it is good. And 10-7 is the scoreline now. Seattle putting themselves in the lead for the first time tonight.
Yeah, and a really fun start to this game as well. Both offenses playing some good football. Portland with the turnover, but gets the stand on the goal line at the other end. A good start to this game.
And that's going to be kneed into the end zone. 1st and 10, balls on their own 20. Cyrus Jive's going to have to recover from that interception in the last drive. I-form look for the Fleet. And that's going to be incomplete over the middle, 2nd and 10.
He's got to be careful. I know he likes targeting Israel Adams, but there was a lot of traffic there in the area. Seattle had about 3 defenders surrounding him, and I think they've worked out now that Adams is going to be the primary target, and they're going to get bodies around him.
Second and 10 for Portland, man in motion. Gonna be caught this time by Ezekiel Love. He's gonna bump it to the outside. Oh, he had some room on the sideline, but steps out of bounds. 1st and 10 for Portland.
Great composure to keep the feet in bounds and grab an extra 5 yards or so. It looked like he might have stepped out just beyond the first down marker, but keeps it going for a few more, and that starts the drive, and they're across midfield now. This is a good start, and they need to keep involving Ezekiel Love just to make sure that Cyrus Jive is keeping himself in check.
Yeah, they definitely need to do that. Just make sure that Jive doesn't get too much into his own head after that pick. 1st down and 10 once more for the Fleet. This one's going to be a throw to the outside. Gain of 10, they're going to say. They're going to give him the 1st down to Ryan Davis.
Yeah, good play. Little comeback route there by Ryan Davis just to try and force the Seattle defense to play from behind there on him, and gets the completion and then the 1st down. That's a nice little read there by Cyrus Jive.
Yeah, it looked like Seattle almost tackled him over the line to gain. Jive going to throw over the middle again. That's going to be a gain of 6. They're going to mark it down as for Ezekiel Love.
Yeah, they're involving Love in the passing game, and again, I think that's a smart idea given that Jive's already had a turnover. Just taking a safe route where necessary. 6 yards is hardly something to shake your nose at.
Another handoff right up the middle for Ezekiel Love. He's going to get the 1st down. Crossing the line to gain.
A good carry again. That's that power eye that they're going to venture towards a lot. He's already had 10 carries, but they've been efficient. And he'll continue here. I mean, they've brought out a spread formation. Could be anything.
Yeah. So far, 5.4 yards per carry for Ezekiel Love. And that one's not going to help out his average, only 2 yards gain.
At times, Seattle flood the box and get the linebackers involved just to push up and give the lineman an extra man. And they get the play, only a gain of 2.
Yeah, that was TJ Harper, the new GM of the Seattle franchise over the offseason, making a play on the ball. Jive looking around to throw to the outside. Gain of 5 on the play. Nice little chunk of yardage there.
It looked like it may have been one of the receivers we haven't called out yet, and a good play there just to keep it going. I think it was Lozano Jr. actually that made that catch.
Yep.
We'll see if they come out with a run here.
3rd and 3 on a crucial drive to keep them in this game, and he's gonna go down for a sack. Cyrus Jive couldn't see him coming. And coming through it is Aaron Gooden with the huge sack to end that drive cold.
Yeah, Aaron Gooden, another first season player for the Nemesis, and that's the second time Portland have tried to pass out of that power eye look. This time it comes up with a sack, but they just didn't have the protection around. Seattle forced the issue and gets the result.
They're now going to punt this one away, and they might get one really into the coffin corner. It's going to be fair caught at the 17. First and 10 now for Seattle. Balls on their own 17-yard line. Patak been having himself a pretty solid coming out day as a rookie. Kicks the tight end out wide. Give me a handoff of the middle of Blue Scott. Blue Scott! Oh, she nearly had a wide open space in front of her, but gets the first down nonetheless.
Yeah, I tell you, you can tell she's going to break one off tonight. The way that the offensive line is just creating gaps for her through the middle. They had to chase her down there. One of the linebackers had to run it down there in Brody Gulch, I believe. But a good read by the offense, and she's just that one last break away from breaking off for a big one.
Yeah, that's how loud the running game has been in the games that we've seen so far, Jacob, in 4K23. Throw over the middle once again. Oh, nearly intercepted. She wasn't able to quite capitalize on what was given. I think that is Derek Majors, the one who dropped that one. No, it's Dale McClain.
Yeah, he almost had it there, and just a little off there with the pass there from type attack, and just lucky enough that he threw it too low to the ground.
Second and 10 for Seattle. Give me another rollout for Patak. Throw over the middle. That's going to be caught. First down and a heck of a lot more. Crossing the midfield stripe this time is Fox Highwind.
Yeah, and once again, the story is the same for Portland's defense with this rollout play. There was a defender right there that just seemed to run back in towards the line, and I'm not really sure what might be causing that, whether it's obviously still a lot to learn about player builds in this new game, but something certainly Portland are going to be looking at, and Seattle are going to look to capitalize on.
Attack going to go over the middle to the outside. That's going to be another gain of a first down to Tita Queen. Seattle moving right through this defense like a hot knife through butter.
Yeah, he's just motoring again, and again they just hit him with a simple post route. Two of those to the outside, and Portland caught in on which to cover, and it's two straight passes in a row that Patak has thrown for over 15 yards.
First and 10. Give me another rollout for Patak. That's going to be a short throw catch. Oh, fumble! Can Portland pick it up?
No, they got it. No. Seattle picked it up. I think Ethan Kai came to the rescue there. The guard leapt on it at the last second. Had he not have been there, I think Portland would have gotten to it.
Yeah, that would have been crazy. But that is one of the more unconventional ways to get a first down here. A little ways over halfway through the second quarter here. Seattle dropping back and throw to the outside. That's caught! Down within the 5, down to the 2, I think they're going to say. Fox Highwind with another big grab.
And Patak again finding the receiver downfield wide open, but that time the pressure for Portland on the front just kind of collapsed. One of the linebackers on the inside, Mel Davis, just didn't quite get in the right spot, and forces Patak into a really nice open look to Fox Highwind. This is a nice, really good drive from Seattle.
First and goal, ball is at the 1.5-yard line. Handoff right up the middle, touchdown. Easy as they come. Baloo Scott with her first touchdown of the season.
Yeah, and she's earned one. She's had some really good touches early in the ball game, and that time the gap opened up again by her offensive line, and caps off a really impressive drive by Seattle. They're moving the ball with such confidence at the moment.
Pending the extra point, it'll be 17-7. And Seattle having a pretty solid start to their season here in the first half. Just 84 yards in just 7 plays, Jacob. Seattle's been making it big.
Well, and you're starting to see why they gave up the capital that they did to get type attack. I mean, what a start he's had to his SFL career in this opening, 15 minutes.
Kick is away, going to be taken in around the 1-yard line by Scott Johnson. Scott Johnson making some moves, in with a little shake and bake to the 32.
And a good return. That's why they've got him out there in that spot. I think it was Leo Morris, actually. No, it was Johnson. A good return, just so cuts up the middle and gets beyond the 30-yard line. It does have a benefit to it if you're getting an extra 5-10 yards off the kickoff.
First and 10, balls in their own 32. Portland needing something big here on this drive. We're going to hand it off in the middle to Ezekiel Love, and Ezekiel Love gains 3 on the play.
Yeah, the game's not beyond reach by any means. I mean, they're down by 2 scores at this point in time, but there's still plenty to like about what Portland have brought early on. It's just they haven't found that momentum. You get the sense that if they get 1 score, it'll flip the game back in their favour just slightly.
Handoff once again to Ezekiel Love. He's only going to gain a single yard out of that. 3rd and 7, and Portland needing a big play on this 3rd down.
Yeah, once again, that Seattle front line is just stopping Ezekiel Love in his tracks. Sean Parrott, the defensive lineman there, coming up with the stop, and you see Portland come out in an aggressive formation here.
Jive dumps it short to Ezekiel Love. Love's not going to get enough. It's going to be 4th and 5. Doug Day, man, one of the 2 people who recently ascended into Seattle ownership, with the tackle.
Yeah, and it shows the flexibility that they've got defensively with that secondary that time. Jive didn't have much of an opportunity to sort of let that play develop, had to use Love as a receiver again, and Seattle get another really good 3 and out.
And you run to the outside here, up to the 30-yard line. And once again, folks, Seattle looking like a very strong unit as they once again come out on offense.
Well, and what's impressed me the most is that every player on the offense has had some kind of role to play. I mean, Patak is really spreading the ball out to 4 out of his 5 receivers so far have made a catch. And it's being really measured and strategic.
Roll out looking. Patak's going to call his own number and he's going to get sacked. First time he's been called his own number. Didn't work out that time, but, first time for everything.
Well, we've been waiting for that. We weren't sure how many times he would try and run the ball naturally like that. That time doesn't quite work, but he'll be going back to that.
Give me another rollout play. Defender gets distracted. Throw over the middle. That's going to be called for a 1st down. And about 5 or 6 yards on top of it to Fox Highwind.
And it's the same play, and Portland's defensive coordinator must be getting really frustrated. Again, Derek Mage has just kind of left Fox Highwind to go and do his own thing. He wasn't really covering anything there, and just let Highwind kind of do his own thing. But I tell you what, Portland must be really frustrated watching defenders get in the right area when Patak rolls out and not having a result out of it. I mean, that was probably the clearest one yet.
Yeah, 2 minutes to go, folks. Seattle looking to extend their lead. You're watching the SFL on YouTube. Gonna be another rollout here for Patak. Launches one over the middle, incomplete. 2nd and 10.
I'm going to get kind of sick of calling it because once again, Portland had a man in the area and Patak was given too much time to unleash that one. That time Portland covered it better in the secondary, but they really need to fix that at the halftime interval. When they get in that spot, you just need to commit to it.
Trips look for the nemesis. Patak gonna throw to the outside. That is a catch! Wow! And Highwind really showing himself out, eh?
Well, high wind again, but it looked like there was going to be a pick there, or one of the safeties seemed to be in a better spot. And it looked like it just kind of went through his hands. It was Chris Starsh again, I believe. Oh no, the strong safety McLean, who was in the area, and it just seemed to slip through his hands and go straight to Highwind. They can do no wrong at the moment in Nemesis.
Rolling out is going to be Ty Patak again. 2nd sack of the day on this, or 2nd sack of this drive actually for Portland, as they're finally starting to get to Patak. Second and 12. And that's going to be a lame duck throw. I don't know what happened there, as Patak seems to be kind of sputtering out in this set of downs.
Yeah, Portland need to do more of that, particularly when he's moving out in the pocket, is rush one of their linebackers. At the moment, it looks like they're trying to rush their defensive backs and they're not really sure what to do. Trying to get more of a pass rush specialist out there to actually go out and make the play might be the way to go.
3rd and 12, Seattle looking to keep this drive alive. Going to throw it out to Blue Scott. Blue Scott sheds one. Not going to. She could have picked up that first down. I think she could have gotten it.
Well, I mean, it's a good tackle, irrespective, and forces Seattle to only a 3-pointer here with the leg of their kicker. But in terms of the context of the game, it's still well within balance. But Portland needs some offensive fluidity at the moment. Seattle just kind of have the stranglehold.
Kick is up and it is good. Seattle up 20-7. After another drive, they've scored on every drive so far. Portland hasn't scored since they first touched the football. Ball's on the team once more. Christian Ronald Suey kicking it off. Going to be fielded at around the goal line. It's going to be returnable easily. Up to the 25 to the 30. That's where we're going to mark him down. 53 seconds for Portland. And if I were them, I'd be having a little bit of urgency on this drive.
Well, you've got to have a crack. I mean, I believe Seattle will get the second half kickoff. So you may not have possession again until about midway through that next quarter. So you've kind of got to take a snipe here.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They need some urgency. And this is not a formation where they've been running those urgent plays out of. Ezekiel Love handed off right up the middle. Oh, but that's usually what is really good. He is away. He's the 30, 20, 10. Touchdown, Portland Fleet. That's exactly the play they needed, even if it's not what you usually see out of Portland Fleet on a passing play or a run.
Well,
Shoot.
It was gonna take a leadership moment where a player was going to step up and make a play for this offense to just get that little bit of confidence in him. This time, Ezekiel Love just does it all by himself, and that's why they've paid him the big money in the offseason to bring him back, because he's just so good and can make something happen when they desperately need it, and that changes the complexion of the game leading into the half. I mean, the scoreline was looking a little grim, and all of a sudden they're going to be back within a score, and you just sense that there might be a little bit of confidence with Portland as they come out of the halftime sheds.
Yeah, 20-7 and 20-14 are very different in terms of how you approach them. And now, in turn, Seattle has 43 seconds to make their own response. This is going to be taken up by Fullerton to the 25. Or to the 27.
Yeah, and don't discount Seattle from trying something untoward here at the end of the half. I mean, they've been doing it all game. There's nothing stopping them from, just having a crack to see if they can get something. There's still plenty of time, really. I mean, they can try and have a crack downfield, so even if you only get another three-pointer, they've looked really explosive.
Yeah, and now they kind of need that because, they're only up by 6. Another one of those big Ezekiel Love runs. And they're down. Pataka calls on number on the speed option. Spins to the outside, and he's going to gain 9 on the play.
He's got to be careful. It looked like he had a bit of a hard time getting up there, but that looked good. I mean, it looked a bit unnatural as he was trying to work out what he wanted to do, but once he chucked it down, a little spin move there, that was fancy.
Second down and 1. Hand off the outside for Baloo Scott. Baloo Scott is in the wide open field. The green, more like the Seattle color scheme. She's going to be in for the score to end off the half. And the Nemesis extend their lead in the Nemisphere.
Well, I mean, that's a heartbreaker for the Fleet. I mean, they were, of all things to do in terms of when they went into a conservative formation, they just couldn't get a play on her at the line of scrimmage, and she's just off. I mean, that breakaway speed evident as she goes downfield, but unfortunately the Portland secondary couldn't keep up, and that's a really important play, and it means that Portland are going to be chasing the game again leading into the half. And look, it just kills off any confidence that they may have had.
Yeah, had it all going their way, but now into the half, Seattle up 27-14 and receiving the second half kickoff. Couldn't be better for the Nemesis. It's halftime here in the SFL. And let's take a look at some of these halftime stats of this game so far.
Well, it's been lights out by the rookie type attack, and really the contrast between him and Cyrus Jive. Cyrus Jive's completed really well, but in terms of the driving downfield, it just hasn't been there for Portland consistently. They had one really good drive to start the game off, and it just hasn't returned to that point throughout the half. They had one big play touchdown, but essentially that got wiped off because their defense had a lapse towards the end of the half. But otherwise, exciting play. Baloo Scott, your player of the half, and we'll see what type attack can continue doing if Seattle are going to come out with that same confidence, or if Portland can sort of get back to what was working in the first half.
20 minutes down, 20 to go here in the Nemisphere. Seattle having a pretty nice coming out party for their number 1 overall pick, type attack. Kick is away in the second half. Is off and running here in Seattle, Washington. Once again, would like to thank everyone for tuning in to the Simulation Football League. I'm Jack Brown alongside Jake McClear. And after an exciting first half, Seattle ready to hit the ground running again.
We'll see if Portland's defense can step up here early on and see if they can get a foothold in the game. They really need to start pressuring type attack. He's had it really comfortably in that opening half.
This is going to be another one of those classic rollouts that Patak loves to do. That's going to be a incompletion. Seems like his target is just about half a step behind where Patak wants him to be, and I can imagine how frustrating that gets.
Well, that's it, and it's the same sad story for Portland's defense. The secondary that time was a little bit more on top of it. That's probably what they need if they're unable to make a play on the quarterback, is just to make sure that they can cover the spaces in behind.
Gonna be another rollout. Attack down the field. That's gonna be up to the 45-yard line. Fox Highwind with another great grab.
That was some grab. The athleticism there of Fox Highwind to reel that in one hand through contact. That is some grab. Impressive stuff from the free agent. That's why they brought him over. He makes plays like that and just gets them rolling.
First and 10 once more. Roll out for Patak. Down the field. Caught to the 35. First and 10. This time it's Fullerton, his old favorite target, once again.
Yeah, it's these two, isn't it? It's Fullerton, and if it's not Fullerton, it's Highwind. If it's not Highwind, it's Fullerton. There's been little need for any of the other star receivers on this team to really get involved. It's all about these two at the moment. And Fullerton, first season out of Fort Worth, as the second season player overall, and he looks really confident with little experience.
Yeah, there you can see the yardage breakdown. They've been keeping it to more kind of the right half of the field in the center over the middle. That's going to be a complete hack. Tried to go the other side of the field, and it didn't work.
Well, that could have been a big play for Portland there. Dale McLean in the area. Couldn't quite reel that one in, but that's a really disappointing result for Portland. They should have had a pick there.
Second and 10. Throw to the outside. That's a one-handed grab. Can he shed the tackler? No, he will not. And that is another huge play from Tina Queen as she gets them to the 15.
Yeah, someone needs to check the gloves of Seattle. They got Velcro on the mitts at the moment. That time, that is ridiculous. Like the skill involved in bringing in a pass like that, it's crazy. It's the talent that they've got in this receiving core is evident at the moment, and Patak really has just got it easy with the amount of plays happening in the front end.
First and 10. Shift to the fullback in the I form. Going to hand it off to Blue Scott. Blue Scott not going anywhere for second and 9.
Yeah, a little heat check there on the front line of that Portland defense. Just making sure that they were aware that Blue Scott was still there, but good defensive play otherwise.
And that's going to be a huge sack. Third one of the night for Portland. As Patak goes down once again.
Well, they finally get to him. That time it was just off a simple draw back, and the lineman just getting across, and that hopefully will give him a bit of confidence in terms of just reading his movement in when he drops back. But here we go, big third down.
Third and 14. Roll out from Patak. He's going to throw it over the middle. Oh, that's going to be intercepted. Portland finally getting another break. And now they got to make something out of it.
And great coverage by the Portland secondary. And you were just worried for a second there that they were potentially going to take a gamble and go towards the end zone. They do a double coverage around the area there by Portland. And that's a huge play. I mean, it sets the offense up in reasonable starting field position to potentially go out and find that rhythm again. Seattle just sort of taking a bit of a gamble there, and it didn't pay off, and Portland get the result.
Ryan Cook, the man on the interception, flips the script And now Portland has the potential to get right back in this ball game, but they're going to need some points here. So over the middle, that's going to be incomplete. Overthrew his target, intended for Ryan Davis. Or Israel Adams, sorry.
Again, this Seattle defensive backfield is so talented and so deep in terms of the flexibility they've got. And that was nice coverage. They put 2 defenders around Israel Adams. They're going to look to do that because I think they've understood that Cyrus Jive is really comfortable looking to him. So they potentially get some bodies around Israel Adams to mitigate that.
2nd down and 10. Adams in motion. Jive going to launch this one deep, and that's going to be caught for a 1st down. Ball is to the 35-yard line, 1st and 10.
Yeah, they sent Adams in motion for a reason, just to see if he could get a little bit of space, and he does. That's an impressive grab. Again, he was double-teamed, this time able to reel that one in, and his 4th catch of the game. It seems like he's had more of an impact than that, but that's a confidence booster for Cyrus Jive.
First and 10, once more going to be thrown to the outside. 2nd inches, where they're going to call it after the catch by Michael Knight, his first time that we've seen him tonight.
Former Sioux Falls Sparrow Michael Knight coming over to Portland as a 2nd season player.
Second down and inches. Handoff to Ezekiel Love. Easily gains the 1st down. No problems with that.
Well, this is something reflective of their opening drive of the game where they moved downfield. They gave it to Love when they needed to save yardage, and Jive finds the receivers that he's comfortable with. Bring out a bunch here. This is a good call. See if they can test the secondary here of the Nemesis.
Going to be a throw to the outside. Oh! A little bit of contact on that one. Pass intended for Ryan Davis. Been a fairly clean game so far. That one was a little bit close, though. Second down, throw over the middle. That's going to be caught for a 1st down and a few yards on top of it.
Yeah, and guess who? Israel Adams again with the catch. And Cyrus Jive he's really starting to develop in this game now. And that's another nice look. Again, Israel Adams was in double coverage, but he's able to fit it into a tight window. And Jive's been pretty good. It's just been the sustainability of drives in this game for Portland have been a little bit short, but this is good movement.
Hand off to the outside for Ezekiel Love, and Love not going to gain a whole lot out of it. 2nd down and 7.
Still low. I mean, it keeps the ball out of the quarterback's hands, and he's shown he can bust it open, something out of nothing. So still worth just testing the Seattle run defense.
Throw to the outside. It's going to be caught inside the red zone. Don't look now, Jacob. But Portland, much like their first drive in the first half, is moving the ball with conviction.
And that's Michael Knight again on the post route across the middle and gets them just on the brink of the red zone inside Seattle territory. And this is prime Ezekiel Love territory here. They've got a spread formation, but don't be surprised if they run it.
Another pitch and catch. It's going to be another 1st down to Israel Adams, and Portland right on the door, making this a 1-score ball game.
Yeah, what a fantastic read. Again, these post routes have been working for both teams. That time, Adams just got through a nice seam and creates it. And now Portland are in great territory here for their star running back.
Can they poke this one in for 6? Bring it back to a 1-score ball game. Quick drop throw to Ezekiel Love. Love carries the defender in for 6. Touchdown, Portland. Ezekiel Love's going to drag this team back in this game, kicking and screaming.
Here we go. Game on. This is a really good contest starting to develop here. And like we said at the halftime break, they just needed to get a sustained drive going early in the half. And they've done exactly that. Their defense got the turnover on the previous possession. And Portland go down the field and score an 80-yard drive, ending with a touchdown by Ezekiel Love, his second of the game.
10 plays for 80 yards, 3 minutes taken off the clock as Portland brings it back to a single score. 27-21, 4:15 left. And Seattle, for as good of a day as Ty and company have had, they haven't quite put away the Fleet yet. First and 10, balls on their own 20. That's going to be another rollout for Patak. Launching it deep, that's another first down. This route has been borderline unstoppable tonight, Jacob.
Absolutely, and Fox Highwind has made really good work of it, but I want to bring up a point made by our producer Cameron Irvine just during that Portland drive. It seems as if they're trying to rush Leo Morris, the corner, into that space where Patak is trying to attack, and realistically, they probably need to look at subbing someone else into that spot that might be more of a natural pass rusher, just to start getting to Patak, because this seems like a play that's very easy to defend, but Portland don't have the personnel at the moment.
No, they do not. That's going to be another first down. This time to T to Queen. As Seattle pretty much able to move this ball at the speed they feel like it.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Patak is just kind of playing the game at his pace, and that time DeQueen again, he's really done a good job at spreading the ball around. The majority of his offense, he's involved 3 of his stars quite heavily, and he just looks very confident for a rookie. I mean, this is his first game, and he's going to eclipse 300 yards through the air quite comfortably.
Give me another play action rollout for Patak. Launch this one deep, and it's the same story as always. This time it's Fullerton. It's either Fullerton or Highwind on these plays, Jacob. They don't really seem to spread it out too much on that route.
Yeah, absolutely, but they love what's being presented to them out of these, twins and spread formations where they've got 2 receivers on that far side of the field that Patak can kind of throw across his body to, and it's an impressive play that seems to be working very well for him, and we'll see if Portland can kind of pick up the pieces.
Once again, a rollout for Patak. That's going to be incomplete. The pass coverage finally catching up with them as they get their first stop in what feels like forever.
Yeah, McLean was awake to it, and you would think in normal circumstances Portland would be defending this a lot better, because it seems like they're telegraphing it a lot. They're kind of just locked into this play because they're waiting for Portland to kind of have a proper response to it.
Deep drop, and that's going to be wide open. I'm surprised they allowed the receiver there, T to Queen, to get so open.
Yeah, you're right. Just too much space there lit up. They weren't playing in a zone coverage. Both the cornerback kind of played up in a high press, and it wasn't the right play call there defensively. The safeties weren't anywhere near where they needed to be, and Seattle exploit the gap in the middle. 2nd and 10
2nd and 10, And now Patax can call his own number. And that time he's a little bit smarter for himself, just slides down after a gain of 3.
Yeah, and I like the fact that he's sort of looking at that as an option when he does roll out, is can I check it down and keep it to myself? That time it doesn't quite get the yardage he perhaps wanted, but it's good to see.
Yeah, it's indication of a smart player. Blue Scott's going to bump this one to the outside. Oh, she's free! And oh, she's going to score a touchdown!
Touchdown, Ravens!
And the Nemesis re-extend their lead. Keeping just
Well, they
out of
can
reach
do no
for Fleet.
wrong. Seattle, it's just been perfect offensively, and Blue Scott has really contributed where she's needed to, and you can see the athleticism. She bounces out of that spin tackle. That's a really good move. Just rocked the defender on the outside and creates another touchdown scoring play. And Portland just haven't been able to respond defensively.
And Blue Scott once again extending the lead for Seattle in this back and forth, very offensive matchup. That's what we like to see. Kick is up and kick is good. 34-21, and we're not even at the end of the third.
And you kind of had a feeling it would be an offensive game, just given the amount of hype surrounding this new look. Seattle offense has been so electric in the preseason and in the opening stages of this game, but also with the talents of Ezekiel Love and the receiving core over in Portland and that offensive line as well, but it just hasn't quite come together yet for the defense of Portland. And here we go, this could break off.
Yeah, Scott Johnson getting up to the 34. So that is very good.
Had a little look there on the outside. You see the bounce out of a couple, nice spin move, and then broke a tackle. That's a real running back move. That little shake and back that he put on there. And but again, they've had the field position off the kickoffs, but it's just they now need to go down the field and have another one of these long range drives that just seems to be taking the wind out of them.
First and 10, minute 34 to go in the third. And up the middle to Ezekiel Love. That's going to be a gain of 4. They're going to mark it down as 2nd and 6 for the Fleet.
And forward progress is forward progress, but they need to really get a wriggle on if they want to come back in this game. Ezekiel Love there, 18 carries already, 142 yards. It's been an impressive afternoon for him.
Second and 6. Deep drop as Jive looks around. Jive, where is he? He's on the ground, and he's going to lose a lot of yardage. 3rd and 13.
Is Sean Parent getting home again? I think that's the second time he's gotten to Jive and just sends them back about 5 or 6 yards. But good pressure by the Seattle front seven, just getting in and around the area. The Portland offensive line, despite the talents, unable to hold on and sends them back. And this is a long-range 3rd down.
Bunch formation. I think this is the first time we've seen this one tonight here, Jacob. 3rd and 13. Jive looking around. He's going to throw it over the middle. Deep. Oh, that's a catch. And Portland keeps the drive alive. And that's Michael Knight once again coming into his own this second half.
There you go. That was necessary. And yeah, he's had the last 3 receptions from Cyrus Jive have gone to Michael Knight again. A similar route where he just runs that post up the middle out of the slot. Seattle unable to pick it up and get some forward progress. They flip the field, and they probably need to keep going to that because I just don't think Ezekiel Love's going to get it done in the time they have available to them.
Hand off to the outside for Ezekiel Love, going to gain 4. Solid run, as that's going to bring us the end of the third quarter here. Portland down 2 scores, looking to close the gap here in the Nemisphere. You're watching the SFL on YouTube. It's 34-21, Seattle in the lead.
Of the Simulation Football League is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or account of the game without the express written consent of the league office is prohibited.
Second and 6 for Portland, as they are within Seattle's 40. Hand off the outside for Ezekiel Love. He's gonna not get the first down. So surprised they called him short, but this is not the time to challenge it.
He was close, so I think if they go to him again, he'll get it. I think Seattle are kind of playing back a little bit to make sure they don't concede over the top and let him break off for one, but we'll see.
Third down in inches, handoff. Ezekiel Love easily gets the first down. Never a doubt about it. First and 10 for the Fleet.
Well, here's where your execution is important. If they get a score here, they bring it back to to a single score, and you just need to hope your defense can get a hold on this Seattle offense on this corresponding drive, but they need to execute again. They've done it twice today.
First and 10. Portland goes over the middle. That is Israel Adams with a catch and a first down in the red zone.
There you go, great catch by Adams, but a nice throw by Cyrus Jibe. He's just started to get the feel for it again. And again, the coverage kind of broke down there. Doug Day lost his man across the middle, and Adams cashes in, and that gets them just inside the red zone. They're inching closer.
Rollout this time from Cyrus Jive. I almost called him type attack because I'm so used to him doing the rollouts. Second and 10. That one did not go as well as a type attack rollout does.
Yeah, it was there, and worth having a snipe on first down to see if you can get it straight away, but just testing out the defense at the moment and seeing what they're going to give them. Seattle playing that right cornerback far back here. We'll see if Michael Knight can get something going here as he goes in motion.
Quick drop, throws over the middle. That's touchdown time. Portland crawls back to within a score. Michael Knight. You know, if they had a player in the second half, he'd definitely be winning it right now.
Hey man, I'm here for a reason. I call these things as I see them, and he saw an opportunity there to just create him on the middle. The cornerback on the up far side was playing far back, and he creates the extra man on that right-hand side. But Portland gets, again, that post route has been his bread and butter. He's got some good size. He's 6'4", 220, and was just able to get his body in between the Seattle defense and get the score. Game on again.
Kick is up and kick is good. Now Seattle has to respond back once more. They've done a good job so far. Haven't had much problems in terms of responding.
Well, here we go, Jack. I mean, despite the stagnancy of Portland's offense at times, they're back by one score, and it's been a cracking game of football to lead us into the nightcap.
Yeah, don't forget, folks, later on tonight, we got Arizona versus San Diego to end off what has been a fantastic day of games around this SFL convention.
Yeah, if you cast your mind back to season 17, it was Arizona that gave San Diego their first ever franchise win, so a bit of history between those two sides as we see Seattle come back out onto the field here. If there were ever a time for a Portland turnover, it would be now.
Ball's on Seattle's 27-yard line. Offset, I look for the nemesis. Roll out for type attack. He's going to call his own number. Oh, he's got some blockers in front of him. Slides down. Probably going to pick up the first, but plays it smart.
Yeah, good play though. Again, you like to see him just sort of sizing up his options when he escapes into the pocket. That time, Portland took a bit too long to get to him. He picks up 9.7, and it sets up a comfortable second down. I mean, the way that Blue Scott's been going, you would assume they're just going to go straight to her.
2nd and inches. Hand off to Blue Scott. Scott sheds the tackler. She sheds too. Oh, she's off to the races. Can she? Nope. Not gonna shed anymore.
Man, she's going crazy at the moment, Blue Scott, and that time again almost breaks off for another long range run, which would have been a real ice pick to the heart of Portland's defense, but just pretty soft defensively on the outside, and she's done it a couple of times today already. Only 8 carries for 131. That's unbelievable. But Portland really need to lock up here defensively.
Hand off the outside once again for Blue Scott. She's going to gain about 7 on play.
That's another good run. And Portland, I think, are going to now need to respond to Seattle's run game. I don't think Patak's going to take many gambles here with this at this stage of the game if they're getting safe yardage out of their star running back.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a constant rhythm as they're going to run this up the middle, and Blue Scott gets the 25. Portland, I mean, they need something to go their way on defense, like, now.
And again, that was the last defender in Portland's secondary that got to her in Derek Majors, and they haven't seemed to be able to get her at first point of contact at any stage when she's touched it.
First and 10, and Ty Patak's going to call his own number again. Gains about a yard. Time melting away off the clock.
It took a gamble. The problem now for Portland is they've conceded yardage to the point that they're in field goal range now. So it essentially means that they would need something beyond a touchdown on the corresponding drive.
Tack, roll out, throws. Tippett, that's what they needed. They needed an interception. They got it. Portland, don't look now, but this game is coming right down the wire. Chris Statch the pick.
Wow. Well, I made the call because I thought they were going to keep going to Blue Scott for the remainder of the drive, at least until they could kind of run the clock back. But incredible read by the defensive secondary of Portland. Christach gets in the area, and all of a sudden there's a long way to go in this game, but Portland have got the ball back within a score.
Ball's on their own 11-yard line. They need 89 yards on this drive. They want to take the lead. Short throw down to Michael Knight. Michael Knight's going to gain 8 of the 89 needed.
Jeez, he's been really impressive. I mean, unsighted in the opening half, comes in. That time he turns on what would have been a 2-yard completion into an 8-yard completion, just pushing beyond the point of the catch. And Cyrus Jive is just starting to get his rhythm going now.
2nd and 2, handoff to Ezekiel Love as he's going to rumble over for a first down. Portland on what is the most important drive of this game, coming out swinging.
Yeah, and they'll keep going to Ezekiel Love. Remember, they can run the clock out as much as they so desire. It's in a weird spot, though, the clock. Obviously, 5.5 minutes to go. Still plenty of time left.
First down, once again, this is going to be a throw to the outside. That one caught by Nelson Lozano Jr. Another pickup for a first down.
It was gorgeous touch by Cyrus Jive just to find him on a tight end out route there to the far sideline. Such an effective play because the tight end just often gets picked up by a corner that doesn't have the size to compete with him on that occasion. But he was wide open.
5 minutes to go in this regulation. Hand off to Ezekiel Love. He's going to gain a yard there, going to say. Doug Day on the tackle.
A good defense running. You've got to plug the middle there if you are defending against Ezekiel Love. That's where Portland have liked to rush him. Aggressive set here by Portland.
And oh, he hits him with a juke, and he's going to be way out in the open field. 30, 20, oh, he spins inside. That's going to be a touchdown. Portland's going to take the lead. Oh, goodness. Ezekiel Love.
That's your play of the night, Jack, and incredible. I mean, that's play of the weekend. Unbelievable. Ezekiel Love, not only was it impressive that he got into the space, but this spin move to shake off 2 defenders in open space. The juke was impressive in itself. But watch what he does. I mean, he's starting to lose it here. The defenders have caught up, and he just says, no thanks, we'll send you over the sideline. This is my time. Portland are going to take the lead here with an extra point.
And you know, Jacob, at the end of the first half, after that big touchdown from Baloo Scott, you know, it all looked kind of hopeless for Portland, but now Portland has scratched and clawed their way back into this, and they're going to take the lead with 4:32 remaining.
I'll tell you what, Ezekiel Love has had a stunning career with Portland, but that might be the most impressive moment of his career. I mean, that was just stunning running back play in open field.
Kick is away, and for the first time tonight, for the first time since they were down 7-zip to start the game, Seattle coming in with less points, and this one's going to be bounced the outside by John Fullerton. And if Fullerton has his way, they'll be right back out in front. He won't have his way, though, as they're going to barely cross the midfield straight.
What is going on? Well, this game's going to headline convention weekend. Unbelievable. When we're looking back on it, 70 points combined. Crazy stuff to near the end of the weekend, but what a finish we've got here, and Seattle just straight back on the attack there off the kickoff. This is going to be a wild final 4 minutes.
Ball is on Portland's 49. 1st and 10. 4 minutes and 21 seconds remaining in the ball game. And Patak's going to go down for a sack. Portland coming alive in this 4th quarter.
Well, that's what they've been needing to do. They needed to rush one of the linebackers in when he tries to create that space for himself. That time Portland gets it right and they shut it down.
2nd and 12. Patak going to go deep, and that's going to be wide open. Down to the 30, Paulie Truth, his 2nd catch of the game. And it couldn't have come at a more important time for the Nemesis.
There he is, Paulie Truth. He hasn't checked into the game since the 1st quarter, I believe. It's his 2nd catch of the game. That time wide open across the middle. Again, type attack, just using the amount of weapons that he's got in this offensive package. And Seattle keep it moving.
1st and 10, ball is on the 29. Throw to the outside. Oh my goodness, nearly intercepted. Kristach nearly had another one. That was a bit too risky.
Oh man, if he had caught that, there would have been a statue outside the home stadium with his name on it, but unable to reel it in. That would have been a huge moment.
Type attack calling his own number on 2nd down. It's going to be 3rd and inches. Ball is within the 20, and now this might be one of the most important plays of this ball game, Jacob. Portland needing a stop in order to make it so that's still a field goal game, just flip the other way.
That was a great run. Really intelligent by type attack, but a great block by the right tackle there. just to create the space for him to run into, and almost got the first down. Blue Scott here.
3rd and inches. Hand off to Scott. Scott's going to get the first down. Scott gets up to the 15, 1st and 10. And now Portland left in a bit of a pickle.
Yeah, again, Blue Scott just refusing to go down when that first contact gets there. Look at that, like, well, 121 after the hit's a bit of a misleading stat, but that's been the story.
First and 10. Type attack rolling out. Throw to the end zone, incomplete. 2nd and 10.
Been looking at that all night. Sometimes it just doesn't quite find the right space for the receiver. But Patak will keep going to that. That's, he's going to take a couple of shots at the end zone here. 15 out.
2nd down and 10. Give me another rollout for Patak. Nearly hit as he throws. Touchdown! Seattle has put up 40 in this game, and Fox Highwind gets a touchdown tonight.
And just like that, the lead shifts once again, and then this time they had pressure in his face, and he still produces. What a grab by Fox Highwind. He's done that several times tonight with the one hand. Unbelievable. Through contact of the quarterback with Patak, and then through contact at the catch with Highwind, a sensational play by Seattle, and they retake the lead here.
And it's a fake. They're going to go for 2. And it seemed to be incomplete, but there's a flag on the play. It's DPI on Portland. They're going to go for another one. My question is, why is Seattle going? Why don't they go for 2?
Well, I'm assuming they're trying to make it so that if Portland score again, they don't lose. And so I understand it from that perspective. Portland, unfortunately, could have had a result had they have been a little less aggressive. But I suppose in that situation, you're a bit taken out. They're going to go for 2 again.
They're going to go for 2 the traditional way. Ball on the 1. Portland needs a stop here more than they need air in the sky. They're going to hand it off. 2 points. 42-35. Blue Scott extends the lead to 7. And now Portland getting ready to need to drive down the field just to tie it. Never mind win it.
Well, that was all it was about there, was just securing it for Seattle and making sure that if Portland score, unless they go up for 2 for whatever reason, they don't lose. But we'll see. Portland only got 3 timeouts plus the 2-minute warning here to drive down the field, and they've been exceptional in this second half.
Scott Johnson takes it up to the 28. They need 72 yards in 2 minutes and 15 seconds.
And Cyrus Jive needs to be that guy again. He has been, and Michael Knight has really been the star of this Portland offense in the second half. And it's going to be a matter of can Israel Adams, Michael Knight, and Ryan Davis, the main 3 receivers, along with Lozano Jr., can they pick it up here? But also, Ezekiel Love will still be involved in here. There's still plenty of time left on that clock.
First and 10, Jive rolling out. Jive throwing it deep. That's caught by Michael Knight. They're going to get maybe a play or 2 in before the 2-minute warning. Can they get the snap off? Yes, they will. Throw over the middle. That's going to be caught by Israel Adams. Gain of 7, and that's going to take us to the 2-minute warning. Don't go anywhere, folks. 42-35, and Portland's driving to tie it up. You're watching the SFL on YouTube. Second down and 3. Jive rolling out. Jive launches it deep. That's down to the 30. Minute 55 left. Portland calling their first time out of the half.
Michael Knight is a superstar, man. Like, he's just making it happen. I mean, Cyrus Jive has barely gone away from him. 111 receiving yards. That's in one half of football.
Yeah, pretty much. Ball's on the 29 now. Jive throws it short. He's going to get 2 off forward progress. And they're going to call another timeout.
Yeah, they just need to take a moment to survey the situation here. They've got 1 timeout left. Still plenty of time. And they're right in the striking area. You need to be execute in the best possible way.
Dump off the outside to Ezekiel Love. Can Love shed the tackler? Yes, he can. Can't shed the second one, though. 3rd and 7, and Portland has eviscerated their timeouts.
Yeah, he probably would have been better just throwing that one away there. They swarmed to the area where Ezekiel Love received it. He couldn't get out of bounds, and that leaves them without any timeouts, but they've still got a minute 40 odd on the game clock.
Third and 7, 2 plays get 7 yards. And that's going to be incomplete. 1 play, 7 yards. They need to get to the 19.
And it was just tipped away, but this Nemesis Stadium is starting to really rock here. The home fans getting behind the defense to try and pull off a stop. What are Portland going to draw up here?
Fourth and 7, they're going to hand it off. No, they're going to roll it out. Throw, incomplete. That is pretty much game over as Seattle makes a massive stand. Bryant Jr. saves it for the Nemesis.
Amar Bryant Jr., the cornerback, former Queen City Corsair that time. He looked for Michael Knight again in the outside this time. Couldn't reel up the catch. Great coverage by Seattle, and you're right, that could well be a game-winning play without any more timeouts. Seattle in victory formation. That bunch formation has worked for Portland and several times today. This time he's unable to bring it in, and Seattle are going to hold on to a tense win.
Yeah, a huge game here in the Nemispheres. They're going to walk out with their first ever win in the new stadium and in 4K23. And if I'm not mistaken, Jacob, this will be the first time in Seattle Nemesis franchise history they'll be having a winning record. So kudos to them.
Yeah, you're right. And a really important start for Type Attack as well. I mean, there was a lot of pressure on him surrounding this first game in a Nemesis uniform. I'm just wondering, I'm not sure if my math is off, but I wonder, no, I don't think they will. I think that's, I was just questioning whether or not they may have had the odd play, but I think this one's well and truly over, and Portland's still some positive signs, but I think a lot to take away today was they were just unable to shut down that rollout play where they would send either Fox Highwind or T to Queen on a post up the middle. That just seemed to work for them pretty much every time they drew it up. And that was the story of the game.
Yeah, and looking forward to next week, folks. Seattle travels to Fort Worth to take on the Toros in a cross-division clash. Portland takes the week off in week 2. And they'll be on Next Level Sports in week 3 and on the road once again, facing off against the Mexico City Aztecs. 2 games that should be really important for these 2 teams, and 2 teams with a lot of promise heading into this young season. Anything's possible in 4K23, and that's going to be the ball game. The Seattle Nemesis beat their Cascadia compatriots, the Portland Fleet, 42-35, and that was a great game, Jacob. Wouldn't you agree?
Fantastic game to near the close of convention weekend, and obviously got one more key matchup left to play, but this was a great way to lead into it and possibly one of the best games we'll see all weekend. Both offenses playing at a high level. Seattle took over in the second quarter of the game, and Portland just sort of inched their way back. They won the second half, Portland, but were unable to bring it home in the end. An impressive performance by Ezekiel Love. Look at that, 24 carries, 230 yards. That's a candidate for player of the game if it weren't for the ever prolific type attack on the other side of the ball as well. Crazy stats from Blue Scott as well, averaging over 11 yards per carry. Fox Highwind, 177 yards. That's a really impressive debut, along with Michael Knight on the other side of the ball, 111 off 7 catches. And I believe, like I said, that was all in the second half. And defensively, Brian James, another debutant for the Nemesis, 13 tackles. Dan McLean leads the way for Portland with 10 single sacks for Gooden, Parent, and Phillips, all new players on the Seattle defense. And just overall, I think both sides of the ball had really good moments, and that was just a stunning game of SFL football.
Over 1,000 total yards and nearly 400 passing yards on debut for Hype Attack, in a debut many will remember. Thanks for tuning in, everybody, to SFL Football. I'm Jack Brown alongside Jacob Clear. Special thanks to Cameron Irvine for producing this. We say so long and have a great rest of your convention weekend.